Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Katharyne and it is day 7 of Designer December. We're running slightly late with them. Hopefully you'll enjoy this one. Hopefully it's all worth it. We've got a really fun one today actually. So some of you were asking where you can find all the goodies that we're putting into Tangent templates. Well, they are in the interior designer. So we select the interior designer from the top, and if you go down to images, this is where all the new things are being put in. You can see all the previous days here. We've had Christmas gifts, the bees, postage, houses, house planners, all kinds of cool things. Today, and this is for those of you who are fans of the Netflix show, The Queen's Gambit, because, oh my gosh, I don't watch a lot of television, but Isaac said I needed to watch that show, so I watched it and loved it. It's so good. And of course, people who are just fans of chess. I was working with Isaac on these yesterday, and I couldn't stop singing songs from chess because I'm that old. You know, like, I know him so... Anyway, yeah, you know where I'm going with that. So... Oh my gosh, guys, if you love that song, I Know Him So Well, there is a version of that with John Barrowman singing it, which is amazeballs. That's what I was listening to yesterday while we were putting these together. So, okay, let's take a look at the chess images. So I'm going to actually go to my project that I was working on, so I can show you a few examples first of what you can do with these. So I feel like one of the most obvious things you can do with this is actually create a chess score sheet. So there we go. This is an example of what a chess score sheet could look like. But also you can do stuff like this. See, there's a planner with the chess pieces. It looks pretty neat. You can also do like writing paper. How nice would this look in a journal? Don't worry about the white box. I put that there actually to cover something, and I'll show you that in a moment. Or I've seen these kind of designs be really popular in bullet journal communities, and I think this might be something fun you could do. And people like to keep either checklists or daily planners, and they write in each square. So that's another sort of design you could do with these. So let's take a look at the images. So what we've done is we have created images of all the chess pieces for you, black and white pieces. And it was actually kind of interesting. I had fun researching this. I found some really old chess books, like the kind they read in The Queen's Gambit in that show. And I found some of those old books, and we looked for images that we really, really liked, and then worked with an artist to kind of create a more up-to-date and clean version of those. So these are all adapted from some really like classic sort of 1900 chess images that we really loved, that are public domain, of course. These images aren't public domain because they've been adapted and cleaned up and modernized a bit, but the original images were public domain. But of course, you can use them in any of your physical books that you're going to publish on KDP, or if you want to, on Ingram, Lulu, any of the other publishers, as long as they're in a physical book, not in a printable or an ebook or anything like that, you're absolutely fine to use these. So another thing we did with these, we actually gave you 2 versions of the kings, just because we found some sort of different styles and we thought they all look really neat. So you can actually experiment with these and try the different kings. You can see there's like 4 different kings to try. And there's also this one. I'm not really sure what this is. It's like a horsey peeking out over the top of a castle. You can tell I'm a great chess player. I guess it's something you can do with a rook and a knight, but I don't know what. But it looks cool, so there it is. We also included actually this little motif. And this, again, I actually found and adapted from some old chess journals, like really old chess journals. And it's nice because the way they used it in those journals is that you can actually put pieces in. So it looks like that. It looks really nice when you put the pieces in and use it as a flourish. So you can see that's what I did on this design here. The other thing I did on this design, and in fact, I'll just recreate this very quickly for you so you can see what I did. I did a box, so we've seen this a few days, over the last few days I've been doing this. So you draw your box, let's make this one college rules. So you scroll down, pick college rule, put some lines on there. Oh, I didn't align it, there we go. We can just align that correctly. And then what I did, I went to the chess images, and we have these like little rows of the pieces. So we did this just to save you time. You can go and choose all the individual pieces yourself, or you can just grab a whole row of them like this. And then what I did was I just covered up the pawns because I didn't think the pawns looked that great. So there we go. I just fill that white. There we go. So you can do things like, oh wait, I better get rid of the border as well. There we go. So you can do things like that just to sort of play around with the designs, and you can cover things up. And of course we have the center back, center front, so you can really layer your designs like this. So that's one way to do a design. There, that's pretty cool. Really quick. See how quick that is to design something like that? The score sheets, they look really complicated, but they're actually not. So we've included several styles of chessboard. Some are more decorative. That's kind of a decorative style there. You can see it kind of has the squiggles. And I used the decorative board here. So I actually put it diagonally across the design there. So the way this would print, you can see it's kind of going into the margin. This margin is really the bleed area. So this will probably get chopped. When Amazon cut your book out, they're going to cut it somewhere in this purple area. So you'll definitely see everything that's in the white area. Whatever's in the purple area may get chopped. And I've used a similar technique actually with this design. In fact, you can't see it because it went behind the margin. But this black and white checkerboard, I just grabbed a chess. In fact, I'll show you. Let's open it up and make a new page. What I did was I used this design and I just made it really, really big. And then I changed the color on it. And one thing I need to tell you with this, if you're doing this sort of thing where you're putting designs into the margin, putting them into the bleed area, it's really, really important that any black areas or colored areas actually cross all the way into the white area. What you don't want to do is that, because if you see these little black stripes, that will probably fire up an error with KDP, because these are like orphaned pieces in the margin error, and KDP will have a problem with that and it will probably reject your book. So if you're going to do something clever like this, and this is kind of like a next level tip for KDP, make sure that all of those black pieces go all the way across from the margin into the white area. Don't leave anything orphaned in the margin is basically what you need to remember. So that was how I did this design here. And I've seen these, as I say, these are kind of popular in the bullet journal community. People love doing things like this, having these big chess spreads. And you could actually make 2 of these. So you can see I've done 1 to 15 here. You could do another page with 16 to 30 and make it like a month planner. So people have like an at a glance month planner. So this would be a really fun thing to put in your chess journal or your chess scorebook. That would be a really cool way to do that. So let's take another look at how you actually make a score page. So if you're doing like a whole book of chess scores, this is how you can do it. And we've created several elements so you can your book can look different from other people's books. So what we did, we've given you several types of chessboard. So as I say, these are like the decorative ones. We've also put in the grid boards. So in a lot of books and score books, they have the grid where you can see the A to H and the 1 to 8, so you know which square you're moving pieces to. So we've put that in. I think there's also a version with a box around it as well. And we have, instead of you having to fiddle around creating tables and making spaces, we've actually done that for you. So if we go back to our images, let's put that in the corner there. If you go back to the images and to the chess, you can see here we've got different types of score sheet. So you don't have to build any tables. You can just grab one there and put them in. And what I did, I used several, and you can see these actually scale down pretty small without you losing the text. So we created several versions of these. There's some with 60 that go up to 60 moves. Some go up to 50 moves. These ones just have the black and white moves, but we also put some in here that have space for a timer as well. So like this one, for example, we can make it bigger. And actually, Isaac's done some work on the site. If you guys have had any problems with aligning things, grouping things, resizing them, we've actually added some new features today and clean that up a little bit. So what you can do now is you can actually grab two objects. So if you look at this, this is about 3.17 inches wide. You can actually grab both these objects now and go in here and resize them together. So you can make sure they're the same size by doing width 3 inches. And you can see now these are the same size. So we've made it a lot easier to work on your designs, add things. In my design, I put all the pieces there. So what I did was I just grabbed all the pieces and put them here and just laid them out nicely. And you can experiment with the coloring on the pieces as well. These ones are the solid ones. You can see how that works there. So these are the solid pieces. They work well for the black pieces. And we also have the outline pieces here. So those work as white pieces. And you can lay these onto a board as well. So I'll show you how to do that quickly. If I open a blank page there and put a board down, and you can change the color of the board as well. You can change the shade and set it up in a way that makes sense to you. So now if I go back and get the pieces, there we go. We can make these bigger so they fill the space, and we're probably going to want to make that black like that. There we go. You can see what I'm doing here. You can kind of create your own chessboard there. We can make that a little lighter, and then I can grab the outlines. There we go. And we can put these here. Make this a little bigger. There we go. So you can create your own chess puzzles here. You can actually, if you want to, you can create a book of chess problems, which would be pretty neat. So I mean, you can move pieces around. If we build with individual pieces, instead of using the whole set like that, you can actually just set this up with individual pieces like that. So there we go. You can move the pieces around and set up any kind of chess problem you like. So there you go. Today's day of Designer December is chess. So I say there's a lot of ways you can use this. You can make chess score sheets, or you can just do beautiful designs like this. Remember what I said about margins. Make sure that you don't have any orphaned items in the purple margins, but if they're attached to something in the white space, you should be okay. So have a lot of fun with this. I hope you enjoy it. I'd love to hear what you think about these chess designs. We will be back tomorrow, or maybe later today. I know we're running a little bit late, with day 8. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.